Back to the daily grind. The channel's getting false flagged by triggered trolls, so make sure you subscribe to the new channel. Let's get to the MMA news. Khabib Nurmagomedov's team is coming out and they're explaining why he's unable to fight in October, why he needed one more month in order to fight at Madison Square Garden in November. Because, okay, so remember they responded earlier and they said, I don't understand why the UFC will wait a half a year but not one more month for Khabib versus Tony Ferguson, number 1 versus number 2. Instead, they're going to book number 2 versus number 7 instead of waiting 1 month on Khabib. And I mean, you understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, the UFC, they have a pay-per-view at UFC 216 that's in dire need of title fights, dire need of big fights. As of right now, the only people on UFC 216 are Fabricio Verdun versus Derek Lewis, which isn't a title fight. Big fight, not a title fight. You have Paige Van Zant versus Jessica Ai. You've got like Beneil Dariush on the card. I mean, it's not a huge card, so they definitely needed a title fight, a big fight at that, for UFC 216. Now, honestly, they could use another one if they really want this card to sell, because I do like where this card's at. It has the potential to sell. The interim lightweight title fight, which means the winner gets Conor McGregor, has potential to draw casual fans in. Like if I go tell Mike the Microwave, if I go tell my brother, hey, the winner of this fight's Conor McGregor, plus Derek Lewis is on the card, plus Paige Van Zant's on the card. Because think about this. Just think about how far the opposite end of the spectrum that is for UFC 216. Paige Van Zant, one of the smallest white girls in the UFC. Derek Lewis, the big black beast, on the same card. And plus you've got the winner gets Conor McGregor in the main event title fight, Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson. It would have been Khabib if he was able to make it 1 month earlier, but he's not, and they're saying it's due to a surgery he had to have, I believe, in April, right? Let me see, I got it right here. It says, according to Life.ru, at the beginning of July, Khabib underwent a small hernia surgery. All went well, that's why he can't fight in October. So he had a small hernia surgery, and so that's why he's unable to fight. So he needs 1 more month to recover, which my question is, if you need 1 more month to recover, when does your training come into play? Or are you saying you need 1 more month training? Because if you're still recovering from the surgery in October, I mean, then what are you going to do? Just train from October to November, only 1 month of training? Or do you just want, are you ready to train, but you want a full training camp, which wouldn't be done till November? So that just came up in my head. I'm not understanding that, so I'm gonna repeat it just so we can get clarification in the comments from the motherfucking hitters. Fuck you, Tem dude. But so Khabib Nurmagomedov's team is saying they need 1 more month. So from October to November, they'll be ready to fight. So are they saying he's still recovering from the surgery? And is he gonna be recovering from the surgery until October? And he can only train from October to November? Or is he done recovering from the surgery? Went well. Is he already done recovering? And does he just want a full training camp? So, I mean, I fucks with Khabib. I know Khabib's got a strong fan base, man. I know a lot of people love Khabib. I like Khabib, man. He's a fucking cool ass dude, man. I really like Khabib. It's just unable. It's unfortunate that he's unable to be more active. It's unfortunate that he only fights twice a year and he was forced to pull out from UFC 209 due to health injuries. And it sucks, all the questions to it, because if you remember, Dana White came out and said he went rogue. You know, he said he didn't even go to the UFC doctors. He went to his own doctor. Instead of going to the UFC doctors for a chance to fight, he went somewhere else. So Khabib wasn't, he said he went rogue, and now they're saying that they need this title fight for UFC 216. Are you ready or no? And they're saying he's not ready. So they're moving on and giving it to somebody else, which fucking, it's so weird, man, because Khabib Nurmagomedov has been sitting at number 1 on the rankings for so long. It's like, okay, if you guys are going to deny him the title shot for, 1 month, are you going to move him down in the rankings too? Or are you going to not give him the title shot and just keep him there in the rankings for, because how long is it going to be till he fights? Khabib Nurmagomedov's team said he's only fighting for the title or fighting Conor McGregor. With that being said, he might have to wait 4 months for that to materialize, because Conor McGregor's looking to fight the winner of this interim title fight in December. If the winner of Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson in October can get out with no injuries, they'll be looking to fight Conor McGregor in December. Then what, is Khabib gonna come back next year? He'll have time to fight like once in the beginning of the year before he's got to go out for his religious purposes, Ramadan or whatever. I don't know much about that, but so he's gonna. I mean, and then so I seen someone in the comments say, why would Conor McGregor risk setting up a fight versus this guy who's, you know, so unreliable to show up, who's so inactive? What if Conor McGregor builds up this huge fight and then Khabib can't fight? You know, I mean, and that's a big deal here. So I like Khabib, man, but it's just not a good look that he's unable to fight so much. He's he you know, Dana White said he went rogue. He didn't even go to the UFC doctors when he had to pull out of UFC 209, which was a huge letdown for hardcore and casual MMA fans. I mean, that was like the people's fight. And he went rogue according to Dana White, and he ate tiramisu before the episode, before the embeddeds and stuff. I know you guys are wondering, when's he gonna mention tiramisu? I honestly wasn't thinking about it, but I mean, that's just another part of it. You didn't go to the right doctors after UFC 209. You went to your own doctors. You ate tiramisu before the fight. On top of that, you're saying you're ready November, but not October. If you're still recovering from your surgery in October, then you only have 1 month to train from October to November. And if you're already recovered from your surgery, you just want that 1 extra month full training camp. That's not a good excuse either, because whenever you get that opportunity to fight for the title, you got to take it. Like Michael Bisping, like so many of these guys, Tyron Woodley. I mean, just so many of these guys who are, you know, waiting on a title shot, or they're, you know, all they want is that fucking belt, that title. You got to take that opportunity when you can get it. You might not get it again. You know how this game is. Someone could win the title, want to move up divisions, want to move down divisions, want to do a super fight, a catch weight, want to go fight boxing. You got to take the title shot when you can get it. Literally. You can't, oh no, I need a full camp for my title shot. I'm good, I'll pass. Oh, I'm getting my title fight and I had to pull out. Check this out. I just thought about that. So these were both title fights. Khabib Nurmagomedov had to pull out of his title fight at 209 because he missed weight. And now they're offering him another title fight. Given it's not November, they're offering you another title fight, 9 months later, 6 to 9 months later. They're offering you another title fight. After you missed weight in a title fight, they're still giving you another title fight opportunity in October, and you can't do it. I mean, how much slack do you have to give, these guys? Honestly, be honest. Like, if this were anybody else but Khabib, why would that be okay? That's Kevin Lee, fucking Conor McGregor. How many people would be pissed off? I don't know, man. I don't know. When you look at it like that, this is the second title fight you've been offered you're unable to show up for. I mean, maybe it's time to fight Edson. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Khabib. It sucks. Because he's the number 1 ranked lightweight. He's been the number 1 ranked lightweight for a while. He's had people calling him out. Multiple different people. I mean, Kevin Lee, Tony Ferguson. I mean, there's multiple people calling you out for fights. On top of the injuries, you miss weight. So he's got 3 different reasons he's unable to fight at times. He missed weight. That's one reason he couldn't fight. He's got his religious reasons. That's another reason he can't fight. He had surgery, which is an injury, so that's another reason he can't fight. There's literally 3 different reasons he's unable to fight at given times. So next time he's scheduled to fight, are you going to make weight? Are you going to be injured? Do you need a full training camp? Are you going to pull out? And you're not going to fight unless I don't know. He's not going to be looking good as far as fanfare goes for much longer unless because on top of all of this, you got to be active to keep the fans on your side. If you're not active, people start to forget about you. People start to, not want to defend that because it's like a mob mentality of people that are going to be like, man, fuck this guy. He's not fighting. He's not active. He's ranked number 1. He's holding up the division, and then, I don't know. It's fucking, it sucks for Khabib for sure, but I'm happy Kevin Lee's getting the opportunity. I'm happy the UFC's moving forward for sure. I'm happy with that because, I mean, I understand. Both of these fighters did agree. I know someone's going to say that. Tony Ferguson agreed to fight Khabib in November. Tony Ferguson would have agreed to fight Khabib in April, March, July, June, August, October. He will fight Khabib anybody, anywhere, anytime for that title. Tony Ferguson's just been waiting on this title shot. Tony Ferguson was ready on UFC 209 to fight for the title. Tony Ferguson's ready now to fight for the title. Tony Ferguson would have fought Michael Johnson that day for the title. The UFC even has been trying to save the title for Khabib, as far as, okay, we're not even, look, we offered him Michael Johnson, but not for the title, because we got to save that. You know, if Khabib is in the fight, you can fight for a title. But if you're going to fight Michael Johnson, nah. So they've been trying to save the title for Khabib. So, I mean, if you just want a full camp, that's not going to do. If you usually do a 2-month camp and you only have 1 month to prepare, you just got to take that 1 month and roll the fucking dice, honestly, right? I mean, and if it's because you're injured, if it's because you're recovering from your surgery until October, then that means you're going to be literally just recovering from a surgery, only training for 1 month. You're going to be training for only 1 month, so you're going to have not a full camp and coming off of an injury if you do fight even in Madison Square Garden. So either way I look at it, I'm just happy that the UFC's moving on. I'm happy that Kevin Lee's getting the title shot. A lot of people don't think he deserves it. You're fucking crazy. I literally went and watched every single one of that guy's on Fight Pass in the last 2 days just at work. So, I mean, if you haven't watched all of his fights, I mean, I'm going to do a Kevin Lee versus the world tomorrow morning, actually, when I go up before work. But, it's fucking Kevin Lee's that dude, man. A lot of people turn him down. He's been calling people out. Fucking, if you watch his fights, literally every time he grabs the mic, he does the right thing. Call somebody out. Then after that, no one responds. He grabs the mic. Man, this whole division's full of a bunch of bitches. I'll take anybody out. Fucking epic ass call out, dude. I'm loving it. A lot of people say his trash talk is cringy. I disagree. I understand it. Maybe you just don't understand his trash talk. Maybe you're just looking for something to pick at. Somebody shared this fucking thing from Super Fights for like a 30-minute video of Kevin Lee cringy trash talk. I swear to God, that shit was corny and it was whack. Of course, you could take any fucking fighter in the world and just take their very worst fucking clips and make them look retarded in a 30-minute video. Kevin Lee says, you know a lot, you know what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying. I know, so you know how many fucking people I know that do that shit, or you dig, or you know what I'm talking at, like me, you know what I'm talking at. That's like somebody fucking clipping up every time I say, you know what I'm talking at, fuck I'm talking at, and playing that shit 100 times and saying, oh look at this shitty trash talk, fuck you talking at, fuck you. That's so fucking corny. Kevin, if you listen, no shit, if you clip up his fucking worst moments, he's gonna have cringy trash talk, and at times it might be cringy, but that's literally everybody. Conor McGregor, as great as he is, Chael Sonnen, as great as he is, says some pretty cringy shit sometimes. If you literally just took their very most cringy shit and put it together, you could say they were bad at trash talk, but we know that's not true. We know they're fucking great at trash talk. But if you make a shitty trash talk montage, yeah, congratulations, buddy, you can do that. But no, so if you hate on Kevin Lee, you want to hate on Kevin Lee, fine. I don't know why. I literally don't understand it. I'm not understanding that, man. I mean, even his fighting style, I've been watching all of his fights, and I was at first I was like, okay, he's wrestling a lot, but this is the thing, he's not just a wrestler. When he's down there, he's trying to finish. When he's down there, he's coming off of 3 rear naked choke finishes in a row, and all of them, he takes their back, locks in the body triangle, and he slams guys, he picks them up old Rampage style and slams guys more than you. If you watch Kevin Lee's fights, man, you're gonna see a lot of slams, you're gonna see a lot of well-timed takedowns, you're gonna see good striking. The one thing I've seen from Kevin Lee is he has the tendency, when you can see he doesn't wear damage too well, but maybe he does. It's like sometimes when you see him, it looks like he gets dropped a little bit, but he's not, because he's right back in it. Or he takes a kick to the body, and it's like it throws his whole body a little bit, but then he's using that to get into a takedown, so it didn't really hurt him too much. So it's like, oh, did he just get hurt? But he's right back in a good position with the takedown, even when you think he might be hurt, and he usually wins the fight. So it's like his wrestling is on point. This is a dude that's literally, since he was fucking a young kid, I don't know how young, but I'm talking about like 12 years old, 14 years old. He wanted to be an MMA fighter. This is the new breed. This is a dude, he's fucking been fighting in the UFC since he was like 22, and he's already got like 12 to 14 fights, man. In 3 to 4 years, he's got more fights than some people that are that are fucking 10 years old or his elder. He's very active. He calls people out. He's down to get in there. He literally, there's no one in the top 5 he hasn't called out. There's nobody in the top 5 he won't fight. There's no one he's dodging. There's no one he's going to make an excuse to not fight. You know how all these people are turning down Kevin Lee? You know how some people turn down Edson Barboza? Oh, too high risk, not low reward. You know how some people do find a reason or whatever the fuck? Kevin Lee doesn't do that. No, he's like, I'll fight Khabib. You know, some people don't want to fight Khabib. You think some people avoid wrestlers. He's been calling out Khabib I'll fight Khabib. I'll fight Tony Ferguson. He don't want it. Nate Diaz don't want it. Michael Chiesa don't. He literally, there's nobody when you look at the lightweight division aside from Conor McGregor, there's nobody that you really just see laying out Kevin Lee possibly. Now, just like I said, it looks like Kevin Lee gets dropped sometimes, but he usually turns it into a solid takedown. Conor McGregor, if he's liable to take him out with one shot. But other than that, Kevin Lee's got a good shot, man. When I look at it, Kevin Lee's got as good of a shot versus Conor McGregor as anybody in the division. That's why I honestly believe Kevin Lee should be ranked number 3 in the lightweight division. Just off the top of my head, there's nobody better in the division than Kevin Lee, to me, aside from maybe Tony Ferguson and Khabib, who are ranked number 1 and number 2. And we'll see the Tony Ferguson fight. Khabib, shit, I would, just from the inactivity, I might put Kevin Lee above him for a moment, just because he hasn't been able to fight. Who knows who knows how he's going to be after the bad weight cut? Who knows how he's going to be after the hernia surgery? Who knows how Khabib's going to look after a year of inactivity? Who knows? And Kevin Lee, coming off of 3 fights a year, trying to fight 4 times a year, calling everybody out. He's comfortable with the mic, comfortable under pressure. He's young. I don't even think he's in his prime yet, and he's still fucking as good as a lot of these people in their prime. He's only 24, 25 years old. He's got years to grow into his prime, and he's already one of the best fighters in the lightweight division. He's a guy that's got a potential to go on a long reign. And like I said, he's got the trash talk. Is it cringy sometimes? The only reason his trash talk was cringy at the summer conference press kickoff was because of what he was wearing. To me, what he wears is cringy. I'm not a fashion nigga. I'm not one of them dudes. I'm not into name brands, never have been. I mean, that's just not my thing because I ain't never had the money like that. So I don't give a fuck about your brands, Gucci shades, none of that shit. That shit is cringy to me. And see, it might be the opposite to some of you. I understand his trash talk, but not the way he dresses. You might understand his fashion, but not his trash talk. So that's what's cringy to you. So I mean, to each their own. But as far as his fighting, Kevin Lee's that dude. Kevin Lee versus Tony Ferguson is the fight to make if Khabib's unavailable. I fucking love the fight. I fucking love it. Tony Ferguson definitely has a chance of fucking just submitting Kevin Lee. You know how Tony Ferguson, but I mean, not even just submitting him, but clipping him up. Tony Ferguson's gonna be the favorite. I might. Damn, I don't know who I'm gonna pick in that fight. I'm gonna do both of these guys versus the world tomorrow. I know that. Fucking Tony Ferguson and Kevin Lee. Maybe I'll have a better decision after that. Ooh, I can't fucking wait for this fucking fight. To me, this fight is probably, as far as entertainment value, it's definitely going to be more entertaining than Khabib versus Tony Ferguson, just for the simple fact they're both going to start off striking. When it goes to grappling, they both can hold their own. It's literally going to be high level in all of the mixed martial arts. Both of these guys have solid jiu-jitsu. Both of these guys have solid wrestling, and both of these guys have solid striking. There's no clear advantage. You know, like Khabib usually has a disadvantage with the striking and an advantage with the wrestling. Here it's going to be a battle of heart, a battle of will, a battle of who wants it more, because they both are fucking great overall fighters. Tony Ferguson's a little older. He's got a little more and their experience is almost the same because Kevin Lee's so active, but Tony Ferguson has fought more experienced fighters. But we've seen Tony Ferguson in trouble in his fights, in bad trouble, big trouble, and he comes back and finds a way to get the win. So Kevin Lee, when he puts people in big trouble, he usually doesn't come back. He's only lost twice in the UFC. I watched them both on this Kevin Lee fucking spree I've been on. Just while I'm gonna watch the Tony Ferguson fights tomorrow too, all the ones I haven't seen. But Kevin Lee, he's fucking, I don't know. He doesn't just let guys. When he gets you in a bad position, he finishes you. I mean, it is what it is. His 2 losses, that's where I was. He lost once to Leonardo Santos, a dude that's like 34 years old. It was a good fight. Kevin Lee was actually winning the striking. It was a first round KO. Kevin Lee got clipped. He was winning. He came forward and just coming forward, he ate a fucking power shot, and it was like, the momentum from the punch came in with him moving forward, and it just dropped him. And dude fucking swarmed him before he was able to recover. So, I mean, it was a good fight. It was a high-level fight. Kevin Lee was on like a 6-fight winning streak. Since then, he's on like a 5-fight winning streak. And his only other loss was his very first fight in the UFC, which was to Iaquinta, which was it was a unanimous decision for Iaquinta. But Kevin Lee, you could have easily gave a 10-8 for the second round. First round goes to Iaquinta, a 10-9. And then the third round was a toss-up. That fight could have been a draw, could have been a split decision, but Iaquinta got the unanimous decision. It was Kevin Lee's first fight in the UFC. So it was literally his first fight in the UFC when he lost to Iaquinta. And on top of that, remember I said he always calls people out on the mic? He said, I want my Iaquinta rematch many fights ago. I want to fight Iaquinta again. I want Iaquinta at Madison Square Garden. I want him at his home. But Iaquinta's doing real estate. He's another guy that's not accepting that Kevin Lee call out. I mean, whether it's, oh no, I gotta, I'm doing real estate. I'm pissed off at the UFC. I like Iaquinta. I actually like the dude. But I mean, as far as a fan of fighting, he's not fighting. I'm a fan of Iaquinta. Some of his stuff he's been doing lately a little bit just because it's entertaining. But I don't know. He's kind of like, that little brother that everybody has. That's what he reminds me of. Like when I was watching that Kevin Lee Iaquinta fight, Chris Weidman was in the front row, just so hyped up for like his little brother. It looked like let's go in the first round when he dropped Kevin Lee. But then in the second round, he's like, no, it's all right, man. You got him in the third. It's all right. But he's just like that little brother. He's like a cool, the cool kid. Like, but at the same time, man, I want to see that rematch. And then also, I think Iaquinta's got off with 2 victories, man. He's got 2 nice victories on his resume that I think the rematch might go the other way. Jorge Masvidal and Kevin Lee. Man, this video, I'm just off of work over here rambling on some MMA shit. That's hilarious. I'm supposed to just be talking about Khabib's surgery. But it is what it is, man. I'm off work. My bad for talking all that shit. I don't even know. Fuck it. I'm just going to, this is the Khabib video. Khabib had a surgery. I'm just going to round it out and finish it off. Khabib had a surgery. That's why he's unable to fight in November, or unable to fight in October, but he would be ready 1 month later. I've already explained the issues with that. I mean, is it because you're still recovering from your surgery or because you want a full training camp? I mean, what's the difference with that 1 month? Are you still recovering from surgery, or do you just want a full training camp? If you're still recovering from your surgery, you're going to have a short training camp and be just recovering from a surgery, so you probably shouldn't be fighting. And if you just want a full training camp, you got to take the opportunity when you can get it, especially when you've already, been the cause of such a huge fight to fall out. So Khabib's still, even though it's a surgery, man, it's not looking good here as far as, I don't think the fans are going to be cool with this. I don't think the fans are going to buy this unless you're just a diehard Khabib fan, which there are a lot of those guys. They're going to still be like, go Khabib time. I mean, I'm waiting on Khabib time. We just don't know when it's going to be because his team also said he's only fighting Conor McGregor or fighting for the belt, which isn't going to be until after December. And then if one of those guys get hurt, if Conor McGregor wins, what if he wants to go back to 145? How long are we going to have to, oh God, are you going to, I don't know. So it is what it is, man. I'm fucking about to go upstairs. I gotta watch fucking Game of Thrones still. I'm fucking hella late on that shit. Holy crap. I'm like 5 days late on Game of Thrones. I still ain't watched that shit fucking, grinding. That's what we've been doing over here, but it is what it is, man. I still want to talk some MMA, but it's late. I got work tomorrow. I want to do them versus the worlds when I wake up. So, motherfucking, I done already said, fucking, let me know what the fuck you tell me in the comments, dude. I'm out.